Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Accent Decelerator, the online 10-lesson course that you are now taking to help reduce and eliminate your accent. Congratulations, you are on class number 10. This is our final class of this course, and today we will be going over everything that you have learned so far and putting it to use. Please make sure that you rewatch classes 1 through 9 at least one time to get the full experience and benefit from these classes. The more times you watch this through, the more information you will learn. Just a fun fact for you, you need to repeat something 3 times for it to even start to be stored in your long-term memory. I do recommend you watch this whole course 3 times through and practice during, before, and after each class. First, let's begin with alphabet sounds. The reason we're starting with this exercise is because it helps with your embouchure, which is the shape of your mouth. I want you to be primed and ready to continue this lesson with the clearest pronunciation you can possibly do. We are going to be applying this to real life, so what I want you to do is follow along on your PDF that we've provided for you. I want you to watch and read along as I read off this paragraph from my computer. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog's back, wagging its bushy tail in excitement. As it leaped across the field, the sun shone brightly, casting long shadows on the green grass. The fox's sleek fur glistened in the light, while its sharp teeth and keen senses helped it navigate the terrain. With a swift and graceful movement, it evaded obstacles and swiftly disappeared into the dense forest, leaving behind a sense of awe and wonder. Great job! So now I want you to pause this video and read this out loud if you can. Great job! So now what I want you to do is look at your PDF. I created a list of problem areas that might appear for you when reading this off. I'm going to read them off my computer. I want you to follow along. Feel free to pause the video at any time and repeat these problem areas out loud. Speak them so you can really solidify the American accent and reduce your own. All right, let's go. The K sound in quick, quick. The OW sound in brown, brown. The F sound in fox, fox, fox. The J sound in jumped, jumped, jumped. The V sound in over, over, over. The Z sound in lazy, lazy, lazy. The W sound in wagging, wagging, wagging. The TH sound in the, the NG sound in long, long, long. The SH sound in shadow, shadow, shadow. The EE sound, the double E sound, in green, green, green. The TH sound in teeth, teeth, teeth. The K sound in thick, thick, thick. Now that you've reviewed the problem areas that you might have when reading off a paragraph like this, let's move on to the next one. I'm going to read it off. You follow along on the PDF provided. The sun shone bright in the sky, casting its warm rays on the sandy beach. The waves gently lapped against the shore, creating a soothing sound that echoed in the distance. Children laughed and played, building sandcastles and collecting seashells. Their joy was contagious as they splashed in the cool water, feeling the refreshing breeze on their faces. Seagulls soared above, their cries blending with the rhythm of the ocean. It was a perfect summer day where time seemed to slow down and every moment was filled with pure delight. Now pause the video and you go ahead and read off the paragraph. Pay attention to pronouncing words clearly and concisely based on the phonograms you see and the different letters placed in different areas of the words. Make sure you're trying to implement everything that we've learned so far. Keep in mind syllables and other various tools like rhythm and speed as well. Go ahead. Now take a look at your sheet. I listed off some areas that may be problematic for you. I'm going to read them off and discuss them. The U sound in sun, sun, sun. The A sound in sand, sand, sand. The E sound in seashells, seashells. The A sound in splash, splash. The I sound in refreshing, refreshing, refreshing. Along with this, you'll find long vowel examples like the ones listed on your PDF. Let me show you these examples. The O sound in shone, shone. The A sound in raise, raise. The double E sound that comes out of the word beach, beach. Even though it's an EA, it does have the double E sound, beach. The A sound in played, played. And the I sound in delight, delight. Okay, great job on this section. You can pause and rewind at any time and rewatch this first part of the lesson. Now we're going to move on to part 2, syllables. You remember syllables, the clapping about when words are broken up into different sections. Remember, a syllable is a part of the word that has a vowel or a vowel sound. There are 6 types of syllables in the English language. I'm not looking for you to memorize them all, but I do want to just speak about them so you can understand the concepts. The first is the closed syllable. This is when it has a short vowel sound. They are the most common type in English and typically are closed off by a consonant on either end, like hat and bat and cat. One consonant, one vowel, another consonant. Very common in the English language. Now, I just want to touch on, again, the ED ending words. These are very important because you do not pronounce the ED. You don't say walked or talked or danced. You say walked, talked, danced. We reviewed that way back in class 6, so if you have specific questions on that, please go back and watch that class. Moving on to syllables again. I am going to clap out a syllable sentence for you. I want you to pause the video after I clap out each sentence, and I want you to do it yourself. Feel free to do it a couple of times before restarting the video. She quickly ran to catch the bus. The bird flew high in the sky. He jumped over the small fence. Now, I hope you pause the video between each clap because it is important for you to clap these out on your own. So please go ahead, rewatch this section and pause the video after each sentence and clap them out on your own. The next type of syllable is the open vowel syllable. This is when the vowel is long and only spelt with one single vowel letter, like the word music. Pronouns in single syllable words also have open syllables. Let me give you some examples and clap them out. Like before, I want you to pause after I clap out each sentence and I want you to clap them out yourself. The sun shone brightly in the clear sky. She rode her bike down the long hill. The cat stretched lazily on the warm rug. Great job. Next up, we have the vowel consonant E syllables, aka the magic E. This is when the vowel is long and spelt with one vowel, one consonant, and then the silent E. These are seen in the words whale and June. Now, same thing. I'm going to clap out some sentences. You're going to pause after each one and clap them out yourself. She smiled wide, revealing her bright white teeth. The wise teacher wrote her notes on the whiteboard for her students to see. She baked a delicious cake with chocolate and vanilla layers. Next up, we have the vowel team syllables, which are long vowel, short vowel, and diphthong vowel sounds. I have now included a list of words that include these. Let me read them off for you. Follow along on your PDF. The first one is paid. That's a long A vowel team. The next one is seat, a long E vowel team. The next one, right, long I vowel team. Next one, boating, the long O vowel team. The next one, boil, the long O vowel team. And finally, rescue, the long U vowel team. Vowel teams that use consonant letters are words like daughter, caught, though, drought. Those are the AW and OW sounds. And these are words that end in AUGH and OUGH. Now we have the IGH ending like sight and bright, and the silent AL spelling for the AW sound, as in chalk and talk. Now I'm going to read some more sentences again. These are also included on your PDF. I will clap them out. You pause the video after each sentence, clap them out yourself. Let's go. The soaring eagle majestically flew across the clear blue sky. The rainbow appeared after the rain, painting the sky with vibrant colors. The ocean waves crashed against the rocky shore, creating a mesmerizing sound. For time purposes, we're going to be moving on to the next section now. Next up, we are going to be reviewing words with stress and stressed syllables. This is very important because this is how we start working towards tone, pitch, and anything regarding flow of speaking. I would like you to take a look at the PDF I've provided you. I have given you a chart specifically for this section. I'll read a few examples off my computer for you, but I won't read the whole thing because it is quite time consuming. But these are great examples of stressed words in neutral and unstressed words in neutral. So for stressed words in neutral, we have things like nouns, adjectives, numerals, adverbs. And then for unstressed words in neutral communication, we have the verb to be, modal verbs, personal pronouns, and possessive pronouns. These are just categories that when English is spoken neutrally, show what words naturally have stress and what ones don't. As you have learned, you can stress words that you want to get your point across. So this just means that when you're not trying to get a point across, this is what the tone would be affected by, these specific words. Again, do not feel like you need to memorize this. This list is not exhaustive either, which means that it's not everything under the sun included, but it is the major areas that I think you should know. Now, let's apply these to a paragraph. I want you to read off this paragraph for yourself. The words that are in capital letters are stressed, so pay attention and apply a little bit of vocal stress to these when reading them off. Go ahead and pause this video now. Great job! Now I'm going to read the paragraph from my computer. I want you to follow along on the PDF and notice when I stress specific words. The autumn leaves gently fall from the trees, creating a carpet of color on the ground. The crisp air fills our lungs as we take a walk through the woods. The sounds of nature surround us, with birds chirping and insects buzzing. We stop to admire the beauty of the landscape, taking in the serenity of this moment. Now I wanted to give you one more paragraph to do, so go ahead and pause this video and do it again. Awesome! Now I'm going to read it off my computer just like I did before. Pay attention to the words that I stress. The majestic mountains rise towards the heavens, their peaks touching in the endless sky. The roaring river cascades down the rocky cliffs, carving its path through the wilderness. The ancient forest stands tall and still, its secrets whispered throughout the rustling leaves. The creatures of the wild venture forth, their present a testament to nature's grandeur. In this primal realm, time slows and the human spirit unwinds as we embrace the rhythms of the wild and find harmony with the natural world. So, I wanted to give you a bit more challenging piece. This one has expanded vocabulary. It's okay if you don't know what specific words are. That's not what we're here for. I wanted to expose you to new, challenging English and allow you to focus on stress and syllables. So, that's what this is about. Now, what I wanted to focus on is rhythm. I wanted to read to you a poem. I want you to listen to me read it, and then after, you'll read it yourself. Let's go. Beneath the sprawling branches of ancient oaks, a gentle breeze whispers as nature evokes The meadows sway in harmony's grace, under sunlight's embrace, a tranquil space. The songbirds trilled their melodies so sweet, a musical treat as their voices complete. With eager steps we embark on a quest to discover the rest in the world's bequest. From sunrise to sunset, in rhythmic sway, we dance through the day in harmonious play. Now I want you to pause this video and read it off yourself. Pay attention to the rhythm and even the rhymes that are included in this to help solidify the rhythm. Please keep in mind that the hyphenated words have stressed syllables and the unhyphenated words are unstressed. Great job with rhythm. Now we're on to intonation. We use intonation to vary the pitch in our voice and to express ourselves, whether it be excitement, surprise, or annoyance, or even sarcasm. If you're me, I'm extremely sarcastic, so I use a lot of intonation. There are 3 common patterns: rising, falling, and falling rising. Let's do a quick exercise. I'm going to say a sentence and you're going to guess if it's falling, rising, rising, or falling. The answer will appear on the screen after I say it, about 5 seconds after. That way you have time to guess. Ready? Let's go. Are you going to the party tonight? It's rising. Are you serious? It's falling, rising. I'm going to the store to buy the groceries. That's falling. Are we there yet? That's rising. The movie starts at 7 p.m. That's falling. I can't believe you're leaving already. That's falling, rising. The weather forecast predicts rain tomorrow. That's falling. Do you want to come with us? That's rising. Being able to identify if it's rising, falling, or falling, rising is extremely important because it allows you to analyze the tone that people are speaking in. By being able to do this, you can communicate and understand them better and then respond even better. Now, on to the next section. Next up, we're going to talk about the Y rule and silent letters. When the letter Y comes at the beginning of a word, we pronounce it as normal, like young or yell. But when it comes in the middle or the end of a word, like shy or sky or by, we pronounce it with the sound of a vowel. Sometimes it can even act as a vowel and be placed in a word with no other vowels, like sky. I want you to pause this video and read the paragraph on your PDF, emphasizing the Y sounds. This is important and I will not be reading through this one after you do. So make sure you read through it thoroughly and even a couple times, emphasizing all the different Y sounds. Remember, when Y comes at the beginning of the word, it typically makes a Y sound, like yell and young. But when it's at the end of a word or the middle, it's sky and it's almost like a double E sound. You go ahead and read through this paragraph out loud. Next up, we're moving on to silent letters. This is also important to understand because if you were to pronounce these letters, it would give off the wrong pronunciation to the word that you're speaking about. Take a look at your PDF sheet. I've included a chart on here of some silent letters that we see commonly in English. I'm going to read a few off to you from my computer. You follow along on your PDF. We have the final BT as in debt. We have the final GN as in design. The final MB as in lamb. The final MN as in column. The initial GH as in high. Initial GN as in gnawing, initial KN as in knit, initial PN as in pneumonia, initial PS as in pseudoscience, initial RH as in rhyme. These are not an exhaustive amount of these words, meaning they're not all the silent letters in the English language or words with silent letters. but I wanted to give you the most important ones. Do not feel like you need to memorize this, but I do recommend reading through this a few more times. Next up, I'm going to read to you a paragraph. Follow along on your PDF. The bold words are words that have silent letters. Watch these specifically as I read this to you, and you will be able to identify what letters I am omitting, or parts of the words that I'm omitting. When it comes to design, there is often a hint of doubt before starting a new project. The knitting needles in hand, I begin to weave and loop the yarn, unsure of the final outcome. But with enough patience and perseverance, a beautiful creation starts to take shape. As I wrap the yarn around the needles, my doubts fade away, replaced by a sense of excitement and possibility. Each stitch contributes to the intricate design, adding texture and depth to the fabric. With every row completed, my confidence grows and the doubts dissipate. The rhythm of the knitting needles becomes a comforting soundtrack as I immerse myself in the process. In the end, doubt becomes transformed into a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction, realizing that through dedication and creativity, even the most challenging projects can be conquered. Great job! We are now halfway through this lesson so far. If you want to pause and take a break, feel free to. This is the longest class of this 10-lesson course, so please take a break if you want. Or you can pause and rewind completely and rewatch this first half. I'll see you after the break. Hi everyone, welcome back to part 2 of class 10. I hope you had a nice quick break or long break. This is a big class. As you've noticed, we are in a new location here. I've changed my clothes, it's a new day, but I wanted to be able to provide you with a fresh look at the second part of this review that we're doing. Ready to start? Let's go. So now we're going to be focusing on the section of decoding past tense verbs. If you remember correctly, the 3 forms of the ed endings. What I want you to do now is look at your PDF. There's a chart that I put there for you so you can read along while I read along off my computer. I want you to be able to read while I speak. So first we have the words that end with the D or the T before the ed. It will sound like an id sound being added on. Some examples are permit, it turns into permitted, need turns into needed, want turns into wanted, and submit turns into submitted. It adds on the sound of id. It also adds on a second syllable. Wanted, permitted, needed. Alright, on to the second column, which is the middle column on your chart on your PDF. In words that end in a vowel or an unvoiced consonant, it will form the T sound at the end of the ed word. We have laugh, which forms as laughed. We have bake, which forms as baked. We have walk, which forms as walked. And we have dance, which forms as danced. This sound sounds like a T, even though it's the ed ending. Now finally, the chart in column 3 is what we'll be going over next. In words that end in a voiced consonant, the ed sound will end in a D sound. Some examples of this are love, this turns into loved, and hope, which turns into hoped, and ask, which turns into asked, and cook, which turns into cooked. Next up, we have a paragraph that highlights all the 3 different types of ed sounds. I want you to take a look at your PDF, pause the video, and read through it first. Go ahead and do that. Okay, now that you've read through the paragraph, I'm going to read it off to you as well. I want you to read your PDF while I say it out loud. That way you can hear how I pronounce each word that ends in ed. The past tense verb. During my summer vacation, I rented a beachfront cottage and eagerly explored the sun-soaked paradise. I surfed the crashing waves, feeling the rush of adrenaline as I caught each thrilling ride. I collected seashells along the shoreline, their smooth edges and vibrant colors reminding me of the ocean's beauty. In the evenings, I gathered around bonfires with friends, sharing stories and laughter that echoed throughout the starlit night. As the vacation ended, I reflected on the precious memories I had made, grateful for the unforgettable experiences that had shaped my summer. Now, what I'm going to do is go through each ed ending word. I'm going to read them off and pronounce them specifically. Rented, collected, ended, reflected. These are the ID sound. These are also the new syllable sounds. Next up, we saw the T sounds, such as soaked, surfed, and shaped. Those are all different examples of the ed ending that sounds like T. And finally, now we saw the D sound in words such as explored, gathered, and echoed. These all appeared in the paragraph. If you want, pause the video and re-listen to this section so you can focus on my pronunciation with each ed word. Next up, we're going to be working on phonograms. Phonograms are a single letter or team of letters that make up a specific sound. Let's go over the chart that is on your PDF. As you can see, we have multiple different things listed on here. I'm not going to read them all off to you because that's quite tedious, but I have given them to you for reference. We have the alphabet, we have vowel teams, we have consonant teams, we have the common sounds of ER, we have the common sounds of SH, and then I've also listed a few additional phonograms that we commonly see in English. If you feel you need to further review that, please go back to the phonogram class. Next up, we're going to be focusing on these various phonogram sounds within a paragraph. Again, I want you to pause this video and read it out loud to yourself, and then start the video back again and I'll read it off to you. Traveling is an incredible opportunity to explore new horizons and embrace the beauty and diversity. As I embark on a journey, the excitement fills my heart and fuels my curiosity. Stepping foot in unfamiliar lands, I am greeted by a symphony of phonograms, each language weaving its own tale. I wander through bustling markets, the vibrant colors and lively sounds painting a vivid picture of the local culture. The tantalizing aromas of street food beckon me to indulge in culinary adventures. Conversations with locals become a dance of phonograms as I immerse myself in their expressions and absorb the nuances of their speech. Every encounter becomes a doorway to understanding, where phonograms bridge gaps and create connections. If you feel you want to listen to that again, go ahead and pause and rewind the video. Next up, let's review homophones, homonyms, and homographs. This will be relatively brief because we did go very in-depth on this in the class specific for this one prior. So we'll just go over it quickly. On the PDF, I have included a chart for you as well. So let's review what each one is. Homophones are words that share the same pronunciation but different spelling and different meaning. An example are the words to, and to. Those are homophones. Homonyms are words that share the same pronunciation and spelling but have a different meaning. An example is the word clear or the word blue. Homographs are words that have the same spelling but different pronunciation and different meaning. One example of this is close and close. Very similar but mean different things. The pronunciation, almost the same. Spelling, identical, meaning different. On the chart that I gave you, you'll see a bunch of different examples. Feel free to read through these, and what I suggest is you pause this video and write a few different sentences with some homophones, homographs, and homonyms. I've also included an extra bonus paragraph on this section for you as well, for you to do on your own. We've read through quite a few paragraphs in this section already, so I don't want to bombard you and read through more, but this one I did want to include because it does help you specifically with pronunciations of the homophones, homographs, and homonyms. Go ahead and pause and read through that if you would like, or do it at the end of the video. The next section we're going to review is speed and rate of speech. With correct phonograms and homophones, homonyms, and homographs. By combining all of that knowledge with pronunciations of specific letters, letter patterns, you're able to speak at a more natural speed already, but then really focusing on speed and rate of speech specifically, you're able to sound even more like a native speaker. On your PDF, I have included the 6 subtopics of linking. I won't go into depth on these either, but I do want to read them off to you. We have blending, co-articulation, assimilation, intrusion, aliasing, and Germanites. So now what I'm going to do, instead of reading off definitions to you, is I'm going to read a paragraph off. There are color-coded words and sets of words or phrases within this. Each one is color-coded to each type of linking technique you will see. I want to read these out loud to you while you read along in your head on the PDF. Listen to me as I read them and pay attention to the colors and how the words are linked together. Ready? Cooking is an incredible way to bring people together. Imagine preparing a feast for 10 people, all gathered around a table, sharing stories and laughter. Even if the weather outside is freezing cold, the warmth of the kitchen fills the air. My best friend is always by my side, ready to assist and offer culinary advice. Baking a pie is always a delightful adventure, a creative process that transforms simple ingredients into a mouth-watering masterpiece. However, it's not a piece of cake. It's not just about the taste, it's about the joy and satisfaction it brings. As the aromas fill the room, they're going to create an ambiance of happiness and anticipation. Cooking becomes more than just a hobby. It becomes a way to nourish not only our bodies, but also our souls. It's about building connections and creating memories, a beautiful intersection of culinary delights and the social life we cherish. The next time you get the chance to cook with your family and friends, it is highly recommended. So here we're going to go over the different linking techniques. The first one is blending that's seen. It's highlighted in red with the words 10 people. It's blended because the words are blending together when we're saying it. 10 people. Our tongue is already in place to say the word people at the end of the word 10. 10 people. So it almost sounds like one word if it was said to someone that doesn't know how to speak English. Next up, we have co-articulation, which is when two sounds overlap. You'll see this with the words best friend. Best friend. The ST at the end of best and the F at the beginning of friends overlap on one another. Best friends. Next up, we have assimilation, when it's changing a sound to create a completely new one. An example is next time. Next time. Between these two words, a new sound is created. Instead of doing next time, it's next time. It's more of an S and a K sound than anything. Next up, we have intrusion, which is adding a sound between two words. For example, piece of cake. We kind of add a little bit of a sound between piece and of and cake. Piece of cake. When you say it quickly, you can kind of hear it, but if you say it slow, piece of cake, we don't do that. But quickly, piece of cake. We kind of add a new sound. Next up, we have aliasing. This is with they're going to. A lot of the times we'll change it to they're gonna. So that would change the sound of the word completely. And this would omit a sound. Instead of going to, it's just they're gonna. We're omitting a sound completely. And finally, we have Germanites, which is double sounds. An example is social life. Social life. If you hear between the end of social and the beginning of life, it almost sounds like you're saying two similar sounds. Social life. Now, let's practice this with the rate of speech. We've practiced the linking techniques, we've identified them, but now we need to speed up your speech. So I did read off this paragraph at pretty much a native speed, maybe 80 to 85%. Now, I want you to pause the video and read this paragraph off aloud yourself. Read it over a couple times, maybe even 3 or 4 times, and try to get up to a quicker speed than what you're normally comfortable with. This will be good for you to practice. It's okay if you make mistakes because that is how we learn. So go ahead and pause the video and come back when you're ready. Great job, and that is it for our entire review for Class 10. As usual, if you have any questions on that, pause, go back and read through any of this Class 10 again. That's it for today's class, and this is our final class of our 10 class package of the Accent Decelerator. Should you have any questions or want to learn more about this, please write them down and save them until our live. And if you cannot attend our live classes, please send us a message at any time and I'm happy to get back to you and answer any of your questions. We've loved having you be a part of this program and we appreciate your support. Should you need anything else from us in the future, want to take live classes, or are interested in any of our other pre-recorded courses and packages, please send me a message as well. You can check out our website, www.truvee.org, or go to our Instagram, Facebook. We now have a Threads account. Also, we have a YouTube channel if you want to have more free English tips every day. Those are a bit longer format than our reels on Instagram, so you're able to get a little bit more information than you would from a reel. Thank you so much for the support, and I'll see you soon. Have a great day. Bye!